The next set of exercises are the ab series. These are 5 exercises all together, and they're some of the most challenging abdominal work and very important to perform at home in order to really increase your technique and gain strength. The first exercise is the single leg stretch. Start by bending both knees into your chest, taking both hands over your right kneecap and pulling the knee towards you and curling the head, neck, and shoulders up. What we do here to modify is simply decrease the range of motion. Instead of having the opposite leg all the way down towards the floor, we lift it up on a higher diagonal to whatever level you're comfortable with. We'll switch back and forth 8 times on either side, maintaining the deepening in the abs and trying not to move the body up and down, but instead holding it stable and in place. When you start to get tired, we'll take a break in between before going to the next exercise. It's a good idea to turn your chin from shoulder to shoulder to help release the neck in between before beginning the next exercise. For double leg stretch, you curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, and the hands move halfway down the shins. If this is too far, you can keep the hands on the knees. Both the arms and legs stretch out at the same time. The legs stay together as the arms circle around to hug the knees back in again. Again, you can decrease the range of motion here, not extending so far, but keeping the knees slightly bent and the hands overhead as you begin to gain strength. Taking a break in between exercises, make sure you're breathing in and out fully to prepare the muscles to continue to work. The next exercise is the scissors. Take both hands behind the right hamstring, the back of the thigh, and stretch the legs to the ceiling. Keep the hand behind the hamstring and the knees slightly bent as you switch back and forth with a double pull. This double pull is a stretch in the hamstring, so continue to reach through the back of the knee, but it's also a deepening of the abs as you pull the belly tighter with every pull. Again, this exercise is performed 8 times on each side. For the lower lift, you want to take your hands into a triangle position, index finger to index finger, thumb to thumb, and place that triangle directly underneath of the tailbone to support the low back. From here, take the legs up into the air. To modify, we'll keep the knees bent and we'll slightly open the knees into a diamond shape. We'll start by keeping the head down on the ground. You want to lower your legs away from you for 3 counts. Make sure the abs stay in and up and the ribs don't fly from the mat. Lower the legs away from you and scoop them up by scooping the abs. We can do this 5 times in a nice slow rhythm. The goal here is simply to keep the belly button in and up as much as you can without letting any part of the body come off of the mat. To begin increasing your challenge, you can curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, looking down at the belly button, and you can start to lengthen the legs a little bit further. The final position would be to take the hands behind the head. The crisscross, the most challenging exercise of the ab series. Keep the legs to a tabletop position and curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. You truly want to keep the legs at a tabletop position as you twist the ribs over to one side and extend the opposite leg away from you. Don't pull the whole body too tight into the center, and I promise that you will be very happy with your technique if you maintain this nice open position. Try and lift up to the tips of the shoulder blades and keep the elbows wide and open instead of hugging the elbows in towards the face and ears. You can start by doing 6 crisscrosses side to side and increase from 8 to 10, moving in a faster pace to really feel the burn on the sides of the oblique abdominals. The spine stretch forward. We want to start by sitting up on the mat. In many cases, you can take your hands right beside your hips and lift your buttocks off the mat to make sure you're truly sitting right on top of your sits bones at the bottom of the pelvis. Open the legs about as wide as your mat, which is typically about 2 feet apart. Take the arms straight forwards in front of you and pull the belly button in and up. This is a breathing exercise. So we start with a big inhale to fill the lungs, and an exhale as you peel the back forwards as if you were rolling off of a wall. The goal here is to curl into a great big C-curve in the spine, as it is a spine stretch and not a hamstring stretch. Inhale at the top. Exhale, belly button pulls to the spine as you roll forwards. Inhale to sit all the way up. In many cases, the low back will not be strong enough or the hamstrings will be too tight. In that case, we'll want to start off by sitting up and by bending the knees so that the heels are on the mat. Fantastic. Really use those abs to lift the waist and curl forward, shortening your range of motion to truly feel the stretch in the spine. This is a great exercise for practicing your posture, especially if you sit at a desk during the day. Front support. Plank positions have long been proved to be one of the best full-body exercises you can perform at home. Start in a position with the hands and the knees on the floor, knees right under the hips and wrists right under the shoulders. The abs are already pulled in and up. Take one leg back with the toes tucked under and pause there for a moment, ensuring that the abs are pulled in and up. Take the opposite leg back with the toes tucked under, coming into the plank position. You want to keep the head in line with the spine, so don't drop the head or look forwards. Continue to actively use the arms, pushing the floor away. Start by holding here for 10 seconds and then build up your time. Bend the knees in between. We'll do this more than once. So let's take a child's pose, stretch backwards with the buttocks over the heels and the fingertips reaching forwards. A few deep breaths will set you up for your next front support. Come forwards onto the hands and knees, finding again that four-post position. Again, taking one leg back, the abs are already tightened in and up. Take the other leg back and hold here. You may continue to hold, or we do Pilates push-ups. Pilates push-ups are triceps push-ups, so the elbows bend backwards towards the waist, hugging the elbows to the body and pushing away. We always want to try a full push-up position. Even if it's just a micro bend in the elbows, maintaining the true position will help you to build strength faster. From here, why don't we push up into a triangle position to stretch the thighs and the calves. Walk your hands back to your toes. Bend the knees to help release the backs of the hamstrings, and then curl up, standing all the way up, nice and tall. This finishes this portion of your Beginning Thrive workout at home. Stand up nice and tall, and let's stay like this for the rest.